Hello everybody, welcome to a World of Warship Blitz video, and in today's video we have the Tirpitz. A little bit more than just, I'm trying to be a little bit more scientific than just narrate what's going on. We're going to talk a little bit about the Tirpitz. So the Tirpitz is a Tier 8 premium battleship, one of many Tier 8 premium battleships, although for a while it was the Tier 8 premium battleship. Of the Tier 8 premium battleship, I dare say the Tirpitz is probably one of the weakest from the point of view that well, its guns aren't particularly accurate. There's not a lot you can do about that, and the ship is relatively slow to accelerate. So at speed, yeah, it's pretty fast, but it takes a while to accelerate. It's not particularly agile, but then again, no Tier 8 battleship is agile. Yeah, so it doesn't really fit the meta because a lot of Tier 8 battles take place at long range. Now, what the Tirpitz does have going for it, and it's like its special little superpower, and as you can see, I've loaded HE because I'm expecting there to be a destroyer first up, although this destroyer is a bot, which makes it a little bit easier. So what it does have as a superpower is, it's not the torpedoes. Actually, the torpedoes are a bit of a pain. What it is the secondaries. So the secondaries don't quite have an 8-kilometer range. They have close to 8 kilometers. They actually go to, I think it's 7.9 something kilometers. Now, the problem with the secondaries at that sort of range is that they do get a lot of bounces. A lot of time I think I just need to be a little bit more subtle, because what happens when I'm throwing the secondaries is I'm hitting many of the same structures that I'm hitting with the main guns, and the main guns can easily deal with those main structures and sometimes drive through to the citadel. The secondaries at those sort of extreme ranges that it can get to out to in the Tirpitz often bounce. Now the special power with the Bismarck secondaries, which is the tech tree version of the Tier 8 German battleship, is that the secondaries reload faster, but they just don't go anywhere out to the same range. So if you're in range of torping for an American destroyer, chances are that you can hit them with your secondaries. Yeah, of course not much of a deterrent, just your secondaries, but it does focus the mind a little. It has torpedoes, and as you can see, when the torpedoes are switching between main guns and secondaries means that you need to cycle through the torpedoes, which means zooming out, which I suppose in some respects is good from a situational awareness perspective, but it's probably one of the things that I dislike the most about the Genizer now and the Tirpitz, and probably one of the reasons I wouldn't be too keen on the Graf Spee. He's gone before I could get my secondaries in on board on him. Yeah, so the Tirpitz, now the Tirpitz does have good automatic secondaries as well. So a few ships have the auto secondaries at Tier 8, more of them have it at Tier 9. So for example, the Izumo, the Tier 9 Japanese battleship has auto secondaries, and it's, you know, and they're quite nice, but they are more to let you know that something's going on when they start popping off. They do like the odd fire. They're sort of like a nice little add-on. But you spend a lot of time in the Bismarck, the Tirpitz and the Genizer now riding those secondary armaments, because the main armaments do take a while to reload. So essentially what you're doing is you're keeping the pressure on at a reasonable distance with those secondaries. So here, here I'm going to be getting this guy's full attention. Now this destroyer is going to be heading in towards us as well. That's a Kagero, so I'm going to load HE. Now HE is not going to be as effective anywhere near as effective against that battleship, but if I get in a brawl with that battleship, he's very little health, I'm very high health. That's probably all I need to know. This guy is turning and, well, smoking up, which is interesting because, well, actually smart from that perspective. I've moved into the turn because his his turn and his smoking up gives me the idea that well, that's going to occur. So I've slammed it into reverse. What I did was I also lit up my sonar, because he must have come, that Kagero sort of, his attack posture was very much torpedo related, and the Tirpitz German battleships are quite vulnerable to fire and torpedoes. So you really do need some support. They're not really capable of going out on their own. They're capable of pushing in, and if you get into a brawl, if you get into a sort of a rolling brawl like this with any non-German battleship in the Tirpitz, you can come off quite well, but it's never that simple. Do not overextend, because it's never a one-on-one like this. You've always got someone else out there who's also targeting you. Here we go, we'll get some torpedoes off just to prove that we can. As you can see, I overshot with my main guns, and the reason for that was that I was switching between main guns and secondaries and cycling through those torpedoes, which threw my aim off. Unfortunately for this Kagero, he's probably only just become aware that I have 8 kilometers of range, and then we basically, although we've got AP loaded, the fact is that it's such a power of shot put into his position that it actually knocks him down quite badly. So we have all 3 caps. He is the only ship that's left, and I'm going to try and see if I can knock him down with my mains, firing AP, which I can do. So really the Bismarck, the Tirpitz, that range, that 8 kilometer range, with the terrible dispersion of your main guns, the 8 kilometer range is the ideal engagement area for you. Now that means that it can be uncomfortably close if you're coming up against destroyers, but you've got your sonar for that. But yeah, it does require a bit of finesse to play, and it's easy. In a sniping game you struggle, and in a melee, well, you get targeted, so you can also struggle as well. So anyway, I hope that helps you make up your mind about the Tirpitz, or at least give you some education about the Tirpitz and World of Warship Blitz. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.